Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is InsideAgameR. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been a few weeks since we played this. We've been mainly on X-Plane 11, 12 recently. The last few times I played Microsoft Flight Simulator, I had issues. God knows what. Anyways, I've reinstalled it. Everything seems to be running quite well. I've kind of slimmed down my folder, my community folder. So hopefully things are looking good. Fingers crossed. And tonight we're going to be looking at the LatinVFR Airbus A340, which came out maybe, what, 5-6 days ago. It's had some mixed reviews from what I've seen. I'll give you my 2 cents as we kind of look over the plane. I've had one little quick flight in it. I think it's okay. Is it perfect? I mean, what is perfect these days? Everyone keeps talking about study level. I mean, an Airbus is pretty self-explanatory. You only have to press like 5 buttons and the plane will fly. It does all the basics that I think it should do. The engines, I think a lot of people, the most things that people can be complaining about. I think in real life, this is a very underpowered aircraft. And people seem to think that this might be a little bit overpowered. But again, I think it's okay. It looks okay. It does the job. It comes with a few little goodies, which I think are really cool, which we'll talk about. One of them is it has its own little ground service thing here. Unfortunately, it doesn't animate, but it's nice that it's there. Connected up to the jetway nicely. And yeah, we'll talk more in depth as we kind of go through the flight. But anyways, good evening to everyone that's here. Good evening. Sir Nigel, you've just bought Parking Lot 7. You've been playing the last 2 hours. Only 2 hours. You've got a few hours to catch up on me yet. Count Davis, good evening. Jamesy, Spacecraft, hello. Will Green. Lucifer, good evening. Delta Airlines, hello. Laserjet Jordan, good evening. Just Jace, hello. Hello to everyone. Hello, hello. So yeah, so we got it repainted in the Simply Connect. I probably should have got this put down a bit more on the green. It's a bit short because of how big the plane is. It looks a bit odd. But anyways, well, we can fix that. That's something that can be fixed. So yeah, we're flying in America for this week. We are currently in New Orleans at the Armstrong New Orleans International, KMSY. I don't fly in America too often. We are going to be going up to Nashville, Tennessee, KBNA. Should be a nice little flight. Should be about an hour and 20 minutes flight time, something like that. And... we'll see how we go. Let's turn on my alert box. It's good if that happens, really, isn't it? There we go. We can reflash that one. And Wishmaster Just Sky, thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, my flight bar at the top doesn't work. For some reason, I've reinstalled Flight Studio, and it just throws errors every time you turn it on. I'm not sure what's wrong with that, so I'll try and fix that for next week. I had a Windows problem last week where I had to reinstall Windows 11 again for the second time this year. Windows keeps corrupting. I don't know, is anyone else having issues with Windows 11? But it keeps corrupting on me. It loses files, but then you try and rebuild the files, even if you download it again and you try and patch it. It just didn't work. I had to literally get rid of everything, which was a big pain in the ass. But anyways, look, the airport's quite nice. I've never flown from New Orleans, but it's a nice little area. American flying is actually quite nice, to be honest with you. All of them have got big airports. You can pretty much fly anything you want from wherever you want. Now, these bases here aren't really built for the plane that we're in, but obviously it's okay. It's not real life. And yeah. Glenn B, good evening. Hello. Hello to everyone. Okay, so look, let's get onto the flight deck itself, and we'll talk about the plane. Overall, I think it looks all right. Again, as usual, I just think it's very blue in here. A little bright, but I've noticed, look, it's got some nice cool little window slides here, look, for the sun. They're cool. I think this one has one as well. I'm pretty sure it did. But yeah, the main thing, so if we just talk about the tablet first, the tablet, which one thing I like, it's very simplified. It's got Navigraph, so Navigraph is pretty handy. Where are we currently? KMSY. KMSY. I think most airplanes these days, or aircraft, really must have SimBrief integration and Navigraph's integration. PMDG took so long to get theirs, and it blows my mind. But anyways, yeah, so it's got that. You get all your charts. We can integrate from our SimBrief, as you can see here. Initial altitude will be 390, and you got all your winds, stuff like that. You can see the block time, air time. Got all your cargoes, payloads, all good. You can sync all of these, so you can sync the plan, sync the payload, and sync the fuel. So that will go all up to your Navigraph. You can go for the OFP as well. Some people really like to be able to read off this if you wish. Again, it's all there as well. Another thing I really like. Keep going down the list here then. It does have a basic checklist. Again, an Airbus isn't particularly rocket science to get it up in the air. But if you needed one, it is there. It also has a performance calculator, which I quite like. Again, you can sync all this for where we are. So you got the gross weight. You can sync the weather that we currently have too. You can put the airport that we're in, KMSY. We'll go into it as obviously once we do a bit more of the flight planning and stuff, but we'll put that in there for now. We should be going from runway 29, I believe. So dry conditions. So you can actually calculate this, and this will give us our V speeds. Flaps. Should be flaps 1, anti-ice off, air conditioning off. Why are you not giving me everything I need? Got the weather. Right, well, we'll sort all this out anyways in a second. And then again, like I said, you could just set your own weights and stuff if you wish to do it that way. And again, you can just click on here and you'll get what you want. You know, if you want lights on in here, etc, etc. It's all pretty cool. So, you know, it's pretty basic tablet, but it has one, and I think it's pretty important. Also, you can get your metadata here as well. KMSY. There you go. I've got all my data that I need. So that's all pretty cool, really. Can't complain. Now, the studio themselves, I know they made the A330. I never brought it, never paid for it, so I've never flown it. I don't know what that was like. And for $30, I actually think this plane is pretty decent. You know, you can't really buy much for $30 on flight simulators these days. You know, most planes are, you know, we're hitting top ends now, really, aren't they? 89 to 90. I mean, look, last year we had that small business jet went for what, 129, the business jet there on X-Plane. Like, you know, so for €30 I paid on the marketplace. Is any place I think you can buy this. I've been pretty damn happy with the purchase. I'm not going to complain about that. I've spent that kind of money on stupider things and add-ons. So yeah, look, overall, actually, I think it's okay. We can go down the cabin as well. It's got some nice... I don't know how to walk around in Microsoft Flight Simulator anymore. But if you go into the showcase, we can have a look at the inside, the externals. You know, it's modeled okay. Is it perfect? I mean, you don't really spend much time back here, so I'm not too bothered by it. I mean, you got these nice little bits and pieces. You got some nice little window views and stuff that come with it, which are nice. I haven't set any custom cameras yet. I think they've actually done a good job with the ones that you get. Can't complain about any of them. I'll work out how to walk around inside in a little bit, and we'll have a good look on the inside. But yeah, look, overall, I'm quite happy with it. Is it perfect? No. I hate this term study level that people cry for. I mean, if you're a real pilot, then yeah, you know, fair enough, I'll accept it. But if you're a sit-at-home pilot and you want study level, are you studying? No. Can you fly and have fun? Yes. Happy days. You know what I mean? That for me is what's important when it comes to these things. So yeah, so overall, quite happy. So look, let's go. I keep thinking of my all the keys for X-Plane. We've been playing so much X-Plane. Do I have the cameras for up above? We do. Okay, so some of this I don't think is particularly pretty. It doesn't even look too 3D, I must admit. But anyways, it's okay. So look, let's throw on the batteries. APU battery can go to the on position. We're going to throw on the external powers because they're on outside anyways. Then we're just going to turn on all the fuel pumps. So no difference to an A320. Just go over a couple of more switches. Does the APU test work? No. Okay, so some things don't work. So there's no testing on APU systems. Surely it can't be too hard for them to really add. It'd be nice if they did. We can align the ADIR system. 1, 2, and 3. They should come alive at some point. And then we go down below here. Emergency lighting is already armed. Smoking we'll just put on. Seatbelts we'll just put on while we're here. What else can we throw on? Throw on the beacon for the moment. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for a second. We'll let all the screens come on. So my flight plan should already be integrated because we clicked on it here. So we can probably already see it. And that's going to take a bit of time to align. Okay, we can do those things. There you go. So the QNH is 1007, so we'll just change that now. Does it change on both sides? Yes, okay, that makes me happy. But yeah, look, I think it's alright. We'll let that just kind of do what it needs to do. We are on VATSIM, but there's no controllers in the area, so we've got nothing to worry about. Hey, Space Cam, the study level term has taken oh god, this is taken off, so to speak, lately. It's a bit crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, Space Cam, you're a real pilot, and I mean, when you go home and you go in these sims, you know, if it's missing one switch, is it really the end of the world? I don't know. But yeah, I hate this term study level because everyone compares everything now to study level. And like I said, unless you're an actual pilot in that plane and you're type rated, I think then you can say you're looking for something maybe study level. But it's a simulator, you know, essentially it's a game. Especially Microsoft Flight Simulator, it works on the Xbox. That's what I can say on that front. So yeah, I hate that term. To me, as long as it has the basics of the flight controls work, the profiling works, you know, like I said, for me, important things are things like tablet having the sim brief, navigation stuff, all integrated. I think that's good. Does my hardware work? Yeah, look, I'm using the Airbus flight sticks and it seems to be working okay. There's a bit of a delay, actually. Bit odd. Does the panels light up? Yep. Can I click most of my switches? Yep. Some of these I know that we can't switch, that are inoperative still at the moment. Like a lot of this is all interrupted. Oh no, these are working. Does the window wiper work? Look, we've got working wipers. It's study level, I'm telling you. If you're here in Ireland, we need window wipers. So yeah, look, I hate that term. I just think, does it do what it needs to do? It does. I'm fairly happy. Like I said, you get the outside stuff as well. This all comes with it. Okay, it doesn't move, so if you don't have GSX, and I haven't re-downloaded it since I've reinstalled, you know, for some people that's enough. That's a nice little extra for the price of the plane. It's nice that there's something there. It'd be nice if it was animated a bit more, but it's not the end of the world, is it? I like it. I think it's doing alright. It looks alright. You'd pay more for an airport these days than this plane, I think. Alright, so let's go down below. Let's try and find which one of these is going to go to... Here we go. Okay, so let's go to the init page. IRS, align on reference, confirm the alignment. Okay, why has that gone back? I don't think there's any way to speed that up, so look, we'll just go with it for the moment. We'll say we confirmed that alignment. Okay, so flight number. Don't know why that didn't go in. Okay, SIT 7742. That's our flight number today. Our cost index is a good question. What is my cost index for today? Cost index of 21. We're going to be flying up to 390. I'm happy winds are in there. Don't think we need much else on that front. It's already put my zero fuel weights in. It's put my block fuel weights in, which is what the tablet says. Again, pretty happy with how that's going. Flight plan is all in place. Doesn't look like there's any discons at the moment. Obviously, we'll have to put in our destination. We'll do that once we're up in the air. We're literally going direct to LBY once we get out, and we can go straight up to 390. Okay, we can go to the performance page then. These are already calculated from there, so you just click on them here. And so 133, 133, 152. We're transitioning at 5,000, which I think is wrong for America. I have no idea what the transitional altitude is. We will be a flaps 1 departure, and we're flexing to 55. And look how simple that is now. Look, I could type all that in all night and spend all day on that, and you know, everything's just imported across. Happy days. I really, for me, I like that. Okay, so we can see our flight plan here. Okay, well, the zooming in there seems a bit far out, but if we go into flight plan, does it go down the list? The waypoints? Nope, because you need to put it on plan. Plan is always a good start. So look, we're going to come straight out of here. We're going up, around and in by the looks of things. Perfect. We'll obviously sort that out a little bit later. Okay, so flight plan for me is in. I'm happy. We got that set. We're going to be going straight up to 390. Like I said, we are on VATSIM, but I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about. Let's just go on to 122.8. They don't seem to spin around or anything. No, okay. The 122.8 is already on. Multi-scans. I can't imagine that it has weather, but, you know, never know. It's on system 1 anyways. And then we just want to make sure we turn the ident on. Now, this doesn't work either, so this is one problem. So I did notice that on VATSIM, it says I'm already on mode Charlie. So TARA is just always on. I can't change anything there, but you can change your squawk. So, happy days, I suppose. It does something. Lighting seems to work fine. So we do have panel lighting, flood lighting. Don't really need any of that on, but at least it works. Alright, if we go into the tablet then, let's go down to the doors. Let's get rid of all these guys. Get rid of the catering. Luggage first, then cargo. I think you gotta wait for the doors to... Oh, there you go. Oh, he's coming back now. He'll go. We'll get rid of the cones. And let's turn on the APU. Do we have the APU down here? There we go. See if all this works. Hey, Philip, just subscribe. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Have any of you brought this yet? Will? Delta Airlines? Glenn B? Space Camp? Any of you brought this? Okay. Let's start the APU. And all this seems to be working. Now, I believe they've used a lot of these systems from the default A320. So I read. I don't know how true any of that stuff is. But again, an Airbus is an Airbus. They're all pretty much the same. I don't think there's, you know, massive amount of difference. Well, in like these kind of screen systems, obviously, now the flight modeling, like I said, I did do a flight. It is a slow building up to speed, but I think it does take off a little easy. And I think in real life, I think what people get upset about this variant of the A340 because of the CFM engines, they were just too weak. That, you know, you could actually land in this game if you really wanted to. Some of the shorter runways that in real life this plane shouldn't have gone into, you could fly this in if you really wanted to. I haven't bought it yet, mate. I was going to. I want to buy Beyond ATC. Is Beyond ATC really worth that money? I don't know. I mean, look, it's handy in some respects if you don't want to do the VATSIM stuff. I mean, I used to love Pilot to ATC. I thought that was great. And Beyond ATC is basically the same. For me, it's just very pricey. Very, very pricey. But look, each to their own, you know. If it's what you want to go down that route, let me know. Maybe I'll even look at it if you say to me, yeah, no, I'm really happy. I'll even consider it. Okay, so the APU's come on. Let's get rid of the jetway. Or not. There we go. Oh, a bit laggy in there, turning that round like that. Okay, so let's go back up above. I need to remember what keys go up above. Okay, so the APU is on. So let's put the bleed on. We can then come off the externals. Don't think there's anything else here that we need that I can control, that I can do anything with at the moment. I think everything else is kind of fine. Now, it does have its own pushback tool. If you want to use it, we'll take away the GPU. So if you go to pushback, disconnect tug. I don't even think the tug is connected by any means. I think that's one thing it is missing, is the tug. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go anyways. I think that's what puts me off 2020 is watching all these vids of people landing jets on grass strips, the rooftops, and the what you call it, Khalifa Tower in Abu Dhabi. Everybody's landing like jumbo jets on them and stuff. But look, you know, you put a game out there and that's what people are going to do, you know. For me, you know, I think it's great that it did introduce to make the flight sim community bigger, but now this is where you always got this thing of, and like I said, they talk about studyware and stuff like that. I mean, half these people are playing on Xbox controllers, for frig's sake. Why do you want it to be studyware? What does I still don't really understand the term as such. I think it does all the systems work to real life. You know, does all the buttons flick? Because that's basically all you're doing as a pilot, is flicking buttons. I think what's more important is the flight dynamics of up, down, and control. And I think Microsoft Flight Simulator have let a lot of developers down in that sense, because I think everyone that basically builds their aircraft, they have to do their own code for the trajectories and the dynamics of the flight. And I think that's half the issue and half the battle. But yeah, look, what you know, for me, I never flew on an A340 in real life, unfortunately. I'd love to have done, never did. So, you know, I'm not too worried if it takes off a little bit quicker. Obviously, I think the Tolus A340 is probably the best A340 on the market. Most of the Tolus products are probably the best in the market, let's be honest. The A320, the A31. The only thing that worries me and why I stay current with Microsoft Flight Simulator is that I do worry that a lot of developers, because of the money, like InniBuilds probably made more money in the last 2 years making one aircraft than they did in the whole tenure on X-Plane. And I think that's the problem, that a lot of devs are now, you know, switched over, or anyone that was making stuff for X-Plane have decided that, you know, we're moving on to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Obviously, we've got their new one coming this year at some point. I assume September, October time. We'll just have to see. But for €30, what people are expecting. And this is the other thing. If I paid £80 or €80 for this aircraft, yeah, you know, I'd have my concerns. 30 quid, like I said, you pay €30 nearly for an airport these days, just to visually look at something like this, you know. So to me, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be really thinking, yeah, that's going to be study level, you know. I think it's a fair price for what they've done. I think the modeling's okay. There are a few little, it's not as clean as it probably could be. Doesn't mean they won't update it, you know. I'm stuck inside here, but I still think it looks really nice. I mean, if you really want to, some people could say, well, compared to X-Plane 12, that is a beautiful aircraft. You know what I mean? Who knows? Right, let's push back anyways. Let's get some engines started here. Okay, so I've got to use this little pushback thing here because I don't have GSX installed.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Oh crap, it's using their default one. Oh. Alright, whatever. He's connecting up. I hate having to try and control these things, but we'll do our best. Okay. I think we're taking off from literally.
Sir, the bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Please set parking brakes. Standing by for pushback. Please set parking brakes.
What are we doing now? I haven't used the default pushback in forever. Is he still raising the nose?
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, engine 4. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, we're going that way. Engine 3. Engine 2. So yeah, see, beyond ATC for me, I'd rather just grow some balls, go on VATSIM than pay them prices. And it is expensive, but look, there is a market for it because a lot of people don't want the live thing. And the other thing with live VATSIM, it's like now I've got no ATC coverage. At least with Beyond ATC, you're always going to get that coverage. I suppose that's the kind of, you know, that's what you're paying for really.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. You may disconnect.
How much is it now these days? I saw it maybe like a week ago. I've forgotten. It was, isn't it structured over
Holding position, waiting for the visual.
monthly
Thank you
payments and
goodbye.
stuff? All right, pushback's gone. Okay, so let's. I want my charts. So we're parked here. And we're taking off from 2.9 down here. So, I mean, we can go either way, I suppose. Okay, that's okay. Engines have all started. Let's go up above then. Let's turn on the wing lights can go on, nav lights can go on, taxi lights to the on position, runway turn lights on. Just make sure all the engines are started before I turn the APU off. Okay, engine 1 is still starting. I'll just give that a second. It's £30 to buy and keep. If you want the accents and sounds less robotic, then you can pay for additional characters, but you don't have to. Yeah. I mean, I see that there's a lot of streamers using it at the moment. I haven't looked at it in any depth myself or anything, but right. Let's go back up above then. We can take the bleed off. All the other lights are done. Okay, we're good to go for a taxi here then, I suppose. Let's see how this goes. So we could go up there and backtrack. We won't do that. We'll go down to the left here. Gonna set flaps to 1. Take off. Well, they came down very quick. Okay. Don't want engines down here. Where's my flight controls? There we go. And look, the tray even opens. So, you know, that's bonus points, right? Let's concentrate on the taxiing though. Oh, Space Cam, are you flying with us? Or are you telling me that I'm taxiing out to 29? Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, I wasn't sure. I know that Gecko said that he was thinking about it. Well, I left that quite late. Okay, so there's Space Cam. He's ahead of us here now. Watching that awful taxiing around. Random user, hello. So there he is. We'll watch his takeoff. Let's get the park and brake on. He's always sleeping. He's up all night now playing games, isn't he? Till like 2 or 3 in the bloody morning. Oh, they got too much going on to be doing that kind of stuff. Right, he should put his brakes on. So let's put our landing lights to the on position. We'll go to take off here. Strobe lights now to auto. Runway turning lights to the off. Let's set our speed brakes. And our auto brake system needs to be set to max, ready to go. And that button works, so that makes me happy. Look at that view. Hey, Si, good evening. Okay, so there we go. Space cam's just about to go up and off. We've got the medic bus now on the runway. There we go. He's off. Alright, we'll line up. Okay, last few checks then. Speed brakes, arms. For some reason I've got flaps 2. We have flaps 1. All these are checked. Flight controls. They're all good and free. Emergency brake needs to be armed. There we go. And yeah, we're good for takeoff here, guys. Okay, flex is on. Hey, Amanda just subscribed. Thank you, much appreciated.
V1.
Okay, let's rotate. Ooh, the FPS was a bit bad there. Gear up. Okay, down to level climb. We'll throw on the autopilot. Let's see how that performs. It's a little on the noisy side. Hey, side is passengers on board. Nice. We'll see how we go though. Hey, Pato Gato. Hello. Good evening. The sounds are good. Yeah, it sounds nice. It's a bit loud. I need to adjust the sounds in the settings for it. But yeah, the engines are nice. We can hear them. It's the most important thing, right? Right. Let's push that out a bit. I mean, it's holding 250 nicely. Currently at 5,000 feet. There must be a restriction in place, right? Okay, let's take them off. Okay, James, no worries. I think Count Davies is flying with us. Is he up in the air yet? Yep, Count Davies looks like he's already up in the air. Train Simulator I no longer have installed because there was a part of my hard drive that failed the other week. So I need to install everything again. I need to do all the Armstrong Powerhouse stuff, all my liveries. I've lost everything. So it'll probably be SimRail will be the next Train Simulator that we'll do next. You're lots quicker than me. I'll be at 370, so you should zoom over the top. Should zoom. We'll see what happens. I haven't even started climbing yet. What's my thoughts on Men of War? I really enjoyed it. Now, I know it's not something that people that watch my channel would particularly watch. I knew that would be the case. But I love those kind of games, and I really liked it. It was challenging, but I think once you kind of get used to all the buttons and how things work, it gets easier. I wonder what the release price is going to be. That would be my biggest question. I don't know if there's enough content there. I think they're going to be relying a lot on the Steam Workshop with people making scenarios plus the online play. And obviously I didn't get to test the online play because there's nobody online really yet. Hey Wayne, good evening. Hey, Joe Mello, just subscribe, thank you, much appreciated. I don't think we're starting to climb until we get to LBY. I mean, we could just expedite it. I don't think it really matters. Let's just go up. Yeah, it's behaving really well. I think it's doing everything it needs to do. It's following the flight plan. We'll see how things go. But so far, so good. Yeah, I think price is going to be quite important for that game. Can't see if it has any contrails. Okay, we're nearly at 10,000 feet. Take the landing lights off. Everything else is fine. Okay, while that's still climbing, let's look at our arrival. So KBNA. Right, hang on. Okay, so yeah, our arrival, we should be coming in on ILS 20 left, I think. Okay, let's see if we can find you. Definitely 20 left, ILS. We should be using the Chenzi 2. No via. Let's insert that. Let's make sure there's no discons. Nope, all good. Meanwhile, we're here, we can just have a quick little look. So we could get the meter for KBNA. We're heading to Nashville. KBNA. Okay, so they're going to be 1005. Temperature 24. Wind is 170 at 10 knots. I need to have a look at the MDAs and stuff like that. We'll do that in a bit. Okay, so we do have the ascent markers. Hopefully we got the descent markers in as well. Let's go to charts then. Let's change the chart over to KBNA. It's a big ass airport. Okay, so we'll be coming here on 20 left. Okay, we'll probably park over here somewhere. We'll see how we go. Why don't I see ILS for 20 left? Oh, here we go. (10935) 10935. Okay, so yeah, it's all in there. It's got the course as well, which is nice. I don't think there's very much we can complain about here. Qatar roll, A340-300 and London Heathrow yesterday. Oh, nice. Don't see very many 340s kicking around anymore, do we? Okay, in other news, what's the Man City Tottenham score? Let's go to the BBC Sports page. Oh, Man City are winning. Okay, well, that's the league over then. This makes me so angry. Well, look, the last few times I flew Microsoft Flight Simulator, I had a lot of issues, so fingers crossed today is the day I don't. Obviously, it can all change pretty quickly, but hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, so far I'm quite happy with this plane. I mean, it's doing everything that it needs to do, so there's no complaints on any of that front. BBC Sports said it was 1-0, but my phone is saying 0-0. Oh, he just scored, that's why. Yeah, I don't mind the 747 in the game, it's alright. The Fenix at the moment for me, I just can't land it. It just goes all crazy. And it does my nutting. So yeah, I'd rather fly the Horizon 787, even this, over the Fenix. Got a bit of wing flex in there as well. I think the Fenix is more broken now than it was before update 2. I preferred flying it then than I do now. Hey, 30 quid. Can't go wrong with this. If you're on a long haul plane, A340, happy days. Jesus, we're only 22,000 feet. We still got a while to go yet. Literally, by the time we get to top of climb, we're coming back down. Crazy. Well, that's why they put the smaller engines on them, because the wings were too weak for the size. That was half the problem of why they put the really small engines on the plane. Probably another reason what killed it as well. Well, it wasn't very efficient, I don't think. Jamesy Sim was playing up on him, I think. Oh, he's trying to fly it all over again. He's in the 737-800 now. He's pushed back and towing. He's coming back. He's not giving up. Yeah, I suppose you're right. They are a thing of the past. Too much on efficiency these days. Well, you think if you save, say, like 2% of fuel over, a year, it's worth millions, isn't it? So we can see why. I mean, and are they filling the seats like the A380s? Like every time I flew on an A380, literally there was barely anybody ever on them. I mean, I suppose if not every seat is filled all the time, are they making money? Especially when you got the things like, the Neo, the 321. And, it can fit a good amount of people and it can cover a lot of mileage, Is it worthwhile? Probably not. I'm just crying and hoping that the plane will give a burst of energy to my sadness. Yeah, I suppose we won't see any more 4-engine planes, will we? I mean, even as cargo, I'm sure they're not that efficient, even if you are moving cargo around. I think the A321 and the XL version of it is probably going to kill all of that, isn't it? And then you're going to have the A220 for the short hauling. I mean, Airbus at the moment, they've got everybody in their pockets right now. They've got the market, haven't they? They've done well. Boeing is just going from disaster to more disasters. Even their Starline has gone down again, hasn't it? They're kind of get up in the air. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about the A350 and the 787. To be honest with you, I like the look of the 787s. I think the 787s look nice, but I think Boeing are just under so much pressure you know, if I had to pick, I'd pick an A350 all day long. I actually can't wait for the A350 to come to this sim. I like the A350. It's a shame on X-Plane 12, it's a really old one. But yeah, forget about that. An A330 Neo. I think I saw somewhere that Airbus is designing a propeller airliner. See, that's what I would like Boeing to do now, is to hold their hands up and say, yep, we rushed this, we got it wrong, redesign, rebuild, bring the 787 back as something newer, but I suppose they've got too much money involved in it now and too many orders to pee around. But I would love them just to redesign something modern without the stupidness of just adding huge engines to their plane. Yeah, I think the only thing, the one thing I do like about the 787 is I love that curvature of the wings with the Rolls-Royce engines. I think they look really nice. But yeah, the A350 with the mask on. I think they announced that Aer Lingus is going to be the first carrier to have the new A220s or something in it, or fly them. I saw something there in the paper that Aer Lingus were getting the first ones anyways. Well, it's funny that Emirates went around and went and purchased more A380s off others, didn't they? Two A350s on the way. Oh, there were two. I knew there was one. I didn't know there was two. Yeah, an A220 would be nice, because I like doing shorter hauling, to be honest with you, than the long haul stuff. You know, I've got no issue with long... I mean, I fly like a plane like this for an hour. It doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers some people to fly like that. Hey, Step 22 just subscribed. Alright, we're up at 30,000 feet finally. We're cruising on up. But Emirates and stuff like that, there's just a lot of money behind them no matter what, isn't it? I don't know. I don't even know if Airbus have the capabilities to be doing more modifications like that right now. I mean, they must be so backdated in orders, and you know, with Boeing peeing off and making a disaster of everything, and there's so many carriers changing over to the Airbus. I think the A380s look really nice. I do like the look of them. I love seeing them coming to land and stuff, but yeah. I think most people will probably just go up to the A350 and that'll be it. James is finally taken off. And luckily it's only an hour flight. We're just coming over Meridian. The Mississippi's on the left there, somewhere down there. Out there somewhere. Hey, James Tango just subscribed. Thank you. Much appreciated if you're watching. 3. Hey, Ashley Williams, good evening, how are you? My Boeing in the sim is like Boeing's at the moment in real life, powered by sadness. But when you're flying on a 737-8, was it comfortable? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you stress the whole way to Crete? On this route we're flying, I can't believe how many airports are below us. There are hundreds. Look at your Navigraph map. That's the thing with America, there's just airports bloody everywhere, isn't there? It's such a big place. Not too far from Memphis. Any dog hair in my mouth. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Can't complain. Flying high. Yeah, I flew out and flew back on the 737-8. As soon as I saw the plane, I tried to cancel the holiday. Did you manage to get a few hours sleep on the plane? Did you manage to close your eyes without panicking? I think I'd be clenching my ass the whole way. Hey, Ashley, I'm glad I found your channel. Currently going through a bit of a rough patch with my depression, and your videos have put a smile on my face. Well, look, I'm glad to hear that, mate, because that's exactly why I started YouTube, especially during the COVID times and stuff. I was in a real bad car accident, and it took me out of a hole, and everybody here took me out of a hole. Some of these people have been here for years with me now, so I know what you're going through. I know what you're saying. But yeah, if I was on a 737 and it was more than a couple of hours, yeah, I'd be definitely clenched the whole way. And last night about 2 AM and the wind was awful. My God, that's such a good workout. Did you have a good window seat to see if any panels are falling off? You missed the hotel simulator. Which hotel simulator? The renovation one. Supermarket simulator, I'm going to be honest with you, I stopped because there's been no updates. It annoys me there's a lot of devs out there at the moment that bring games into early access. They get a quick buck, they update it for like 2 months and then disappear. So I am waiting for that to update. If it does update, I will be coming back to it. But yeah, I get a bit annoyed like that. Actually, did you watch today's video about the Judge Simulator? That's a really interesting game. The video was out earlier on tonight. Really interesting game. I really liked it. It's currently on sale. Where you have to become a judge in like different kind of like murder cases and stuff. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. All right. I feel like we should probably be in the cockpit a little bit here. We're at top of climb, and we've got to get ready to descend soon. What do we need to get down to for this? 5,000 feet. Just popped up that somebody that's on my Steam is playing Payday 3. Has anyone actually played the game? They sent me a key and I never played. Yeah, window seats, which was great to see when things go wrong. I always feel like it's better to know that something's going wrong than to not know, if you know what I mean. I'd rather see the panel come off and go, you know, than just be sitting there asleep and all of a sudden the plane just drops. When I was down at Heathrow, I caught the Air Canada service to Halifax on 737 MAX. Ooh, transatlantic, oh yeah, shit that. Especially when there's just water in between. I wouldn't even put my money on that the Boeing could float. I don't think you'd be getting no Sully in the sea out in the Atlantic. On the flight back, they moved us to emergency doors, and that's when I started to sweat. Did you keep your seatbelt on the whole flight? Hey Keith, thank you for subscribing, mate. The hotel renovation. I think there's a new DLC coming soon for that. There's quite a few cool games coming at the end of this month, Ashley, as well, that you might like. But yeah, the Judge Simulator, I played it today. It's on sale currently for only about $8. Really cool little simulator. It's in early access, but there's a good amount of cases there at the moment. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people enjoy that game. Alright, we've got 20 miles to go before we descend. My seatbelt's still stuck to me. Did you start talking to people around you and be like, did you see that the Boeing had to have an emergency landing there the other day? You know, well, actually, they did have a few issues this week, didn't they? Didn't the cargo plane, the FedEx, didn't that one come down? The 777, no landing gear on the front nose. The thing is, aircraft have issues every day, so do Airbus, but because Boeing's just so under scrutiny right now, anything that happens is just getting blown up massively. But that's their own doing as far as I'm concerned. I mean, 2 whistleblowers have been killed now. There was another one last week. To me, that's just pretty fishy. Oh, we actually gotta go down to 2,000. I think one of the things that appeals is your voice is very soothing. Also, I love your mini. I got a mini toe. Oh, nice, sweet. You have to join Discord and show me. I wanted to get a... I mean, I've got tattoos. I'm covered in tattoos, but I've never got one for the mini yet. I wanted to do something for my YouTube since it's actually doing okay, but I don't know what to do, and it's there for life, you know what I mean. And I have loads of crap tattoos as well. I've got some nice stuff, like all my arm is done, and I got sleeves on both sides, half sleeves, my ribs, back of my legs. I've got some stupid crap in certain places as well. Mainly been drunk in Australia, actually, was the problem with them ones. Told my girlfriend about all the issues, and she was just as scared as I was. I would have been talking to everybody. The FedEx 767. Oh yeah, the Istanbul light landing gear wouldn't retract. Space Cam's descent. Oh yeah, crap. we should probably think about descending too. Right, so we'll see how this descent profile goes. And if this brings me in nicely, if it connects to the ILS nicely, I think this is a well worth playing for 30 euros. I don't think you can go wrong. I don't think there's many other planes out there for 30 quid where you can say, you know what, it goes up, it goes down, and it has a few little tricks and stuff, if I'm honest. I would never even say value for money. The Max is grand. To be honest with you, the Max you'd think should be pretty damn good at this stage. I mean, the scrutiny it had, the groundings, the changes, you know, you'd expect it to be one of the safest planes out there now, no? Realistically, you'd expect it to be. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure if I'd like to go transatlantic myself in one, I must admit. But, you know, for a couple of hours, I probably wouldn't care. Anything over like 3 hours, I'd be like, yeah, I'll pay the extra 30 quid and go with EasyJet. See, the thing is, Ryanair's just so cheap here. Like, you just can't, not, even if you're that scared of flying, the risk of that plane having an accident is still, you have more chance of winning the lottery. And, you know, 30 quid return to pretty much anywhere in Europe still from Ireland. You know, you really can't, knock it. Ryan O'Leary. But to be fair to him, like, Ryanair have got a great safety record, and he does state every Boeing that comes in that they do extra precautionary checks and stuff, and they basically like rip the plane apart and rebuild it again. So, you know, a Ryanair one you'd be pretty okay with, I think. For me, I just find the plane looks so odd with the really big engines and being so low to the ground. I love the Boeing shape. I love the nose and the front. Always have throughout all their, you know, all their lives. But the oversized engines and the way that they're shot so far forward and it's so low, I'm not keen, because that's one thing I liked about the old 737s is that I love that curve on the bottom of the engine. I think that looked really nice. Gave it a nice feature. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of this ginormous engine just sitting on the wing, but I think they're trying to get their 10s into service this year, aren't they? And they're trying to get them signed off. I don't know if they will or not. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this plane, especially if you wanted to ever do, say, like the VATSIM, you know, cross-Atlantic. Pretty cool for that, if you didn't fancy flying the A310 or the 747. If you're a long-haul flyer, but I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's pretty okay. Which carrier did you fly with, Jamesy? Did you go Ryanair? 757 would have been better. An upgraded frame 737's well past it. Yeah, look, and that's what I mean. I'd kind of like, I mean, they've put too much money in it now, and I think they're too far in the hole to really just say, okay, scrap this, bring something new in. I think they've gone past that stage now until technology improves for better engines again and stuff. I think they've gone too far. I think the issues have gone on too long. The back orders. But I'd love them to redesign the 737, but Jet 2. I've never flown with Jet 2. When I was in the UK, it was always Ryanair or EasyJet. Now, I lived in France for a number of years, so I flew with EasyJet because they flew from Lyon. And they went straight into Gatwick, which was kind of handy for me because I was living in Basingstoke at the time. So, it was pretty handy. And I was flying backwards and forwards, but yeah, I flew mostly with EasyJet with them, or Ryanair. I never flew with Jet 2. They got a lot of older planes though. Are they getting any of the newer ones? Well, they must have got some of the newer ones in, but are they still flying like the really small 600s and 300s and stuff? Is it Jet 2 that have them? There is a carrier that has the really small older Boeings that are still flying some of them, aren't they? Oh yeah, Lasham Airfield, yeah. Yeah, my parents still live in Basingstoke, so I go over quite a lot. I will be in England in July, but I'm going to Wales. Not my biggest fan, but I'm going to the Monster Jam thing at the Principality Stadium. The fans CEO came out this week and said they're not expecting to see 777X now until 2027. But look, they're just under so much pressure, aren't they? They can't even build enough planes. Even Airbus, like, they're not producing enough planes for the orders. It's crazy. And I think if Boeing haven't put pen to paper on anything yet, I think it's a good thing. I think they should weigh up their resources and think, you know, if we're going to bring out this 777, let's redesign it properly. Let's not pee around. Let's put correct bolts in, you know. Make sure doors don't pop off. Jet 2 are going all Airbus planes. Oh, really? See, they always were a Boeing carrier. Ah, yeah, well, I'll be in Wales for the week. Could always get the train across to Cardiff and go for a couple of beers. I may or may not be looking at some planes out there too, to buy and bring home. All going well. All right, let's see where we are with this thing. I don't want to lose track in case it goes wrong. We're looking alright at the moment. Hey, William, good evening. Oh. Do any of you have gaming chairs? I find gaming chairs really hurt my ass. They're really uncomfortable. Mine's like a brick on the bottom. Jet 2 have also out an order of interest of A330 Neos. Where are they going long hauling? Am I catching up now? We've got a nice tailwind as well, that's nice. Where's Jet 2 going to go long hauling? Man City is still winning 1-0, so the Premier League is over. Oh, my lights are flickering. Jet 2 to the Caribbean. I've always wanted to go to the Caribbean. I was supposed to go to St. Lucia. But I had a change of plans. Haven't confirmed, but they're looking at Thomas Cook long-haul routes that were never filled. That's another airline I'm surprised still can fly. Their holiday things. Hey, Callum just subscribed. Yeah, I was supposed to go to St. Lucia, but other things got in the way and it just didn't happen. But I was supposed to go. I really wanted to go. I will go. We'll go eventually again, I suppose. Is it expensive over there? Like, I was supposed to go like back in 2015 for my honeymoon, but it didn't happen. We did something else instead, but yeah, I always wanted to go. Thomas Cook now comes Germany-based with a Funky Stripes livery. Really? I haven't seen it. The Condor Germany-based. But it's another airline. I'm very surprised that it's still running. I'm surprised people even go on Thomas Cook holidays. You hear so many bad things about it. Hey, Graham Ball, good evening. How are you? Oh yeah, when we were looking at it, the holiday itself was coming to close to like $8,000 just to get the flights and the hotel and stuff. I was supposed to be in 2 weeks there, but fortunately a family member got seriously ill and wasn't a lot of time left and plans had to change, but yeah. I think I'll go against TUI from airport places like Edinburgh, Newcastle, Stansted, long haul. Well, they must be still making money or they wouldn't be doing it, so yeah, I'm not a fan of those kind of package holiday things. I'd rather split it up and do it myself. I think it was a direct flight for us when we were looking at the time. I don't know, I can't remember how long it was. I mean, look, it's 24 hours going to Australia, 2 12-hour flights, so I'm not bothered by that. As long as you're comfortable. Like, we were looking at, like, business class and stuff at the time. It was, like, if you're going to do real long-haul flying, like, I did economy when I went to Australia and back, and I said to myself, if I ever do a flight longer than, like, 8 hours, I'm just going to pay the extra $500 or $600 to be more comfortable, because when you're trapped around so many people like that, it's hard for that amount of time. You just got a Brexit tax on everything anyways. I don't know what you guys are worrying about. It's your own doing. Should have just stayed in the Union. Really did not make a blind bit of difference. And now the French just send you all their immigrants, so you're in a worse position than you've ever been. And then you're putting them in Northern Ireland, so they're coming down to us. KLM. I think a lot of people moved over to Airbus. I think Airbus have definitely picked up a pretty penny for all this disaster. Now, I saw the CEO of Airbus was on the news, and he was saying how, like, you know, they want to help Airbus, Boeing and all this kind of thing. It's best for business, but I'm thinking you're full of shit. Like, for them, the best thing can happen is more doors fall off, so more carriers go over to Airbus. The pound was always worth more than the euro. And that'll never change. But if you think about it, when I moved over here, when I bought my house, the exchange rate was 142 euros to the pound I got when I exchanged when I bought the house. Now it's like nothing like that now. It's not much in it at all now. I remember for 65,000 pounds, I ended up with something like 108,000 euros. Something like that. Alright, let's bring our radar in a little bit. We're already down at 10,000 feet. So we'll throw on the landing lights. What else do we need to do? We can arm the spoilers at this stage, I suppose, so I don't forget them. I think everything else is kind of okay, as long as it's all tracking well. ILS is already in place on the radio. And the course, everything is in place. Should be okay. 115 now. Yeah, it is crap now. Even when I go over and I go to the post office to change some money over and stuff, it's like, what? It is crap now. But it'll always be stronger than the euro. It's never going to change. The pound is a strong currency. It always has been, always will be. You know, same with like the dollar and stuff. It'll always be stronger than the dollar. But yeah, there's not massive amounts in it anymore. My auntie made a living on buying and selling currency. She used to trade her pound into like yen, and then change yen into rubies, and then rubies into Australian dollars, and Australian dollars to American dollars. Or she used to play the markets. She just sat at home all day on a computer, and she made a huge amount of money. Like, she bought a house, she goes around in flashy cars, and that's all she used to do. She used to just move her money around and make money off it. Crazy. I don't think you can do it as much anymore. Yeah, you know what? That doesn't surprise me either. I mean, we can fly. You can fly from Shannon here to Newark in New York for like 550 euros return now. It's actually quite cheap for us to fly to America, because America love us. So, yeah, it is like we could go to America really cheap here, and Shannon to Newark is only like 6 hours. It's not even that bad. 6.5 at a push, I think. Alright, we're going through the haze. No icing conditions are being detected, so we should be okay. We've got a lot of fuel on board still. Hey DJ Joe, hello, how's it going? How are things? I think it's going to get worse for you guys yet in England. I think your government is frigged. The Tory party's done for. I think Labour will win the next election. And we know what that can bring. It can be good or bad. Generally, they like to just spend and give money out to everybody. So, you know, Tony Blair and his big old deficit. Good old Gordon Brown. Remember that guy? Jesus. What a donkey he was. I can see some bullcrap with like a United Europe or some new scheme where England become a part of Europe again, but not in Europe. I mean, technically, they're all still in NATO. You're all paying for that stuff still. So, like, I don't see the big deal with Brexit. It's just a mess up, to be honest. Everybody goes to Dubai now. I don't know why. I've been to Dubai as in I've flown in. I never got a chance to look around Dubai. Now, the airport was really nice, I must admit. It's probably one of the nicest airports I've ever been around. But everyone, all the influencers and stuff love going out there, don't they? I don't know. It's not for me. But I suppose it's the tax-free haven. There's a lot of jobs out there. I see that the air carrier currently are willing to bring in pilots and give you a 3-bedroom house, move all your family visas, and live tax-free. You know, It's amazing what oil money can do, right? Well, technically England aren't in a financial crisis anymore. Didn't you guys come out of recession? It was all over the news here that you're no longer in a recession or something. But yeah, the UK, but it's not just your government. Our Prime Minister quit there a couple of weeks back, and some donkey took charge that nobody likes, who was desperate to get into power. But he wasn't voted in, and he's now got it. Bit like what's going on with the Tory party, you know, good old Bojo being kicked out. Same kind of things happening here with us right now. And this guy that's got it right now, he was the health minister, and he had the worst track record of any minister in this country. But he won't go to a poll, or because he knows he's going to lose when he has to. And the problem with Ireland is, what gets me is, we have over 3,000 children living in temporary accommodation, which means hotels mainly, or B&Bs that are paid by the government because we have no houses. You know, we got the immigration problem right now with people that there isn't their fault that are here, but we can't even house them, and they're digging up their tents. They tented. Dublin's basically a big campsite right now, and they're going around every day with lorries just running over the tents. Oh, it's mental here as well. I think everywhere's gone a bit mental at the moment again. Yeah, it's crazy how busy they are. Yeah, everyone goes to Dubai. Like I said, I'm not sure it's a family-orientated place. I mean, there's a lot of restrictions and rules and certain things, and I don't know. I don't really feel like there's much else there, maybe apart from money, I don't know. Okay, so let's have a look at this then. So we're coming in here now at Reba, which is here at 5,000 feet, and then we should start bringing down. Once we hit Judd, we'll put on the ILS. The speed's coming down nicely. We're now at 220. As we start making this turn, we'll start doing some flaps and stuff. But yeah, look, it's coming down nicely. It's a bit. There's the airport. Well, there's the airport there. There's the runway. No, you're not that far. You must be hitting top of descent nearly now, Will. Ah, you're doing alright. You're going to be down in no time. Hey, I actually really like this plane. I think it's alright. I think some people are just too full of shit. On the other hand, he handled the Turkish airline ferrying people. They sent a Set 777. I think, though, once planes are kind of scheduled, they have to fly them, don't they? Empty or not, especially if any of them have any kind of government funding or anything. Have I tried doing any builds A320 on the beat? No, I haven't. To be honest with you, I'm so bored of flying A320s all the time. I'll try it, though, because the Fenix is broken. The Fenix is completely destroyed, I think. I don't know what they're going to do about that plane. Okay, flap set to 1. It is really dark in here. Where's the storm lighting? Yeah, it's a bit bright. Just so we can see a little bit better as we come in. One life, multiple adventures. Make sure the landing gear is down when you land, unlike the landing in the Gold Coast in Australia. Oh, mate. That was such a long time ago now. Luckily, the real planes that fly in real life, the gear's always down, otherwise God knows what would happen to me. The Phoenix is just broken, completely broken. That plane is frigged. Hey, TSC 777, I bet Jar Design A340 is better than this. I completely disagree. This is way better than the Jar Design. The Jar Design now does not even work for X-Plane 12. The only thing this is missing is the camera that basically it has on the Jar Design. Other than that, this is actually a really good plane, and for the price, it's cheaper than the Jar Design as well, so I would take this any day of the week. Oh, space cam's already down. I'm starting to make my final turns here now. Can't see anything. Where did all this cloud come from? Axel, thank you for subscribing, much appreciated if you're watching. Yeah, I don't know what the interest of going to North Korea is. I think some people are absolutely mental. You have to surrender your passport and everything. Frig that. Anywhere that you can't carry your own identity around, frig them. I mean, I get it. It's, you know, it's secretive and all this kind of things, but yeah, absolute screw that. I feel like this night time has just creeped up on us really quickly. Hey, old 9102, describe. Alright, let's just turn up these lighting a little bit. Unfortunately, there's just so many buses that are like that. And we are so slow. There's a new update for ETS2 today, I think, as well, I saw. Okay. Everything seems to be on track at the moment. The plane's doing its thing. Gear down. See what the animation's like. Wayne, yeah, I repaint all my buses for my Omsi. Okay, so we're coming in on 20 left, so we're coming in here.
2,500.
Looks like if we can get off there, it'd be good. Okay, auto brake set to low. I think should be more than fine for this. Wait, yeah, look, and if you get really stuck and you really want something, if you send me some pictures, I'll do my best to try and replicate it.
2,000.
Right, so far this plane is doing everything it's been asked to do. Absolutely no complaints. So that makes me very happy. Okay, all was going well until maybe now. Oh, it's raining. Oh, okay. I think we got some serious weather. Got a big headwind now. Alright, it is copying the glide slope, so it is doing everything that it needs to be doing. So yeah, that makes me happy.
1,000.
I'll take over. Can't see the pappy lights though.
500. 400.
Why is there no pappy lights?
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30.
Oh, it's pitching up. Whoa! It's doing what the Phoenix does.
10. Retard. Retard. Retard.
Okay, it was all doing really well until that point. Okay, so yeah, the landing you need to work on it. It bloated up for some reason. I mean, it is what it is. Let's retract you, tidy everything up. We're going to die. We're not going to die. It's just one of those things. Once you kind of get the knack of the aircraft, you'll be alright. I'll tell you what the landing rate was in a second, but I think we landed on like one wheel, so not good. I still think this plane is worth it. I don't really have any two issues. I think, like I said, once you kind of get used to its quirks. Felt like we were coming. It's a bit bouncy now. I don't know what's going on. Like bouncing everywhere. Connor just subscribed. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. I'm using a Thrustmaster joystick. I think the bigger planes are supposed to go over there. We might touch wings, but be okay. Okay, my landing rate was probably ridiculous. What was it? Ah, 522. It's not too bad considering the disaster it was. Yeah, up until this point, everything was going quite well, and then as soon as we got over the threshold, it just balloons. It's all going nicely still. And technically I was still on the markers. Oh! Ouch. That's a Ryanair landing for you. Looks much better from inside. You'd never know the disaster that... It was alright. Wasn't terrible, wasn't amazing, it was alright. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Thank you for the guys that flew with us tonight. Jamesy, of course, Cam Davies, I think Cam must have landed already. Space Cam already landed as well. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. We'll be back flying again next Tuesday, of course. And yeah, hopefully I'll see some of you on Thursday night. Bye for now.